I'm Debbie Love-Tuck, Editor of Employee Benefits, and I'm here with Jonathan Watts-Ley, Director of Wealth at Work, to talk about why helping employees to improve their financial well-being is essential. So, Jonathan, what is the impact of financial worries on employees?
Well, the impact can be massive. We've done some recent research where employers said to us that absenteeism had been caused by financial issues that individuals have. We know it impacts productivity as well for those that are in the workplace if they've got those money worries. And we see case studies. I was speaking to an employer quite recently who said that there was a lady in the team who had previously been a good performer in the workplace, but of late that performance had tailed off, did an appraisal, and what materialised was that she actually had serious debt issues. The irony of that situation actually was that this was a lot of credit card debt, and the employer actually had a loan facility, preferential rate loan facility, which really could have helped her much earlier on, but she wasn't aware of it. So it just shows that actually this isn't just about actually ensuring that people understand what's available in the workplace, but making sure that the employer is doing their bit to spot those early signs when perhaps there is deterioration of productivity.
Definitely. Okay, so why should organisations be so concerned about this?
Well, I think because of the whole issue of absenteeism, because of the issue of productivity, clearly they want people in the workplace performing. And often, a lot of these employers do actually have a very good suite of benefits. So that might be savings products, such as Save As You Earn schemes, or maybe workplace ISAs. Some may have debt consolidation facilities at preferential rates. Others may have discount vouchers for retailers, so whether that's doing the weekly shop or needing to buy a bigger item such as a computer or a laptop. So all of these things combined can really help people manage their money better. But unfortunately, often employees aren't really aware of these things and therefore don't take them up. I also think that there's the financial well-being agenda, if you like, has only just started to get off the ground. We've had the health wellbeing agenda in place for quite a while, and I think a lot of employers find that much easier to deal with because they can tick the box on private health cover. They can often tick the box on healthy eating choices within staff restaurant. They may have a gym facility. They may have other. We work with employers where they bring in people to do yoga and all that sort of thing. But when it comes to financial issues, they can tick the box on pension, but after that they often get stuck and they don't know what to do next.
So you mentioned some of the benefits that employers can offer there. What sort of other forms of support can they offer to employees around financial well-being?
Well, it's really important actually to understand the profile of your workforce, because clearly somebody who's in their 20s has probably got quite different priorities and different concerns to someone who maybe are in their 50s. So whilst that's not always absolutely the case, as a general rule, it is probably true. So again, it's segmenting the workforce down, looking at the profile of the workforce, and then going out with messages that are likely to be more meaningful to those people. So for example, younger people, they're more likely to want to understand actually how they can save for their first property, for example. So therefore, what are the savings vehicles that may be available in the workplace? Whereas older people may be much more concerned about how much money is in their pension, can they afford to retire, are they able to retire in the next 3 years if that's their goal. So a lot of it is really about segmenting it and then thinking about actually how is that going to be communicated, because the communication will depend on the environment in which those different individuals work. So clearly if someone works in an office versus someone who's maybe a salesperson on the road, versus someone who's working in a manufacturing facility. So all those things need to be taken account. But what you can't do is ignore one segment just because it's a bit difficult.
What is the best way for employers to communicate to staff?
It's really important to understand what the hooks are going to be. So the classic example, I guess, is pensions. Going out to young people and saying, we want to talk to you about pensions, and people immediately switch off. So what is the hook that will engage people? So on some occasions, that can be very, very specific. I remember a story or an example with an employer that we worked with a few years ago, where they actually had a Save As You Earn scheme that was very successful. It was about to mature. It was in the money. And they tried to lay on some financial education to make people aware of the tax issues. But unfortunately, in the communication, they didn't say that. And so no one pitched up for these seminars that were being laid on, because they they thought they knew everything. And then, of course, what materialised over the coming year was that the scheme was successful. The individuals, the employees made money, but they also faced a tax bill if they'd sold a lot of those shares. And then, of course, then they went back to the reward department saying, hold on a minute, you never told me about the tax. So it's a good example of where the messaging was not right for actually what they needed to achieve. So we got involved the following year, and again, they had another share scheme. It was, again, in the money, so going to be successful. So we just went out with a simple message, which was around, do not pay tax you don't need to pay. And we were inundated. So even though it was the same product within the benefit suite, and it was fundamentally the same situation, actually getting the messaging right is really important to engage people.
And what support is available to help employers to improve financial wellbeing in the workplace?
I think there's a lot of support now. I think the important thing is to do it as a proper strategy, so do it as a proper wellbeing strategy. So certainly when we go into organisations, we're looking at the profile of their staff, so looking at the age, looking at the salary ranges, we're looking at the benefit suite that's on offer, and of course that benefit suite may not be universal to all grades of people, so that needs to be thought about. We think about the environment in which individual employees work. So again, are they in a manufacturing plant? Are they in a retail store? And part of that study is to actually start to segment and think about some of the key messages. In some, we will do focus groups, so we will ask people about what they understand about the benefit suite, and you'll be amazed when we do that, how many just do not understand what's available to them in the workplace. Although equally, you may not be amazed, because we often see that benefit take-up, percentage of benefits, certain benefits can be really, really low. So the question is it really low because it's just a bad benefit and nobody wants it? Or is it low because people aren't really aware of it or don't understand it?